Hi, it's Mrs. Clark. Let's do a protein synthesis practice problem together. But before we begin, let's remind ourselves of our pairing rules. Remember, when you're working with DNA, A always pairs with T, and G always pairs with C. However, when you're working with RNA, what you'll notice is that there is no T in RNA. And so anywhere you would have put a T, you're going to put a U instead. So let's do one together. This is a DNA strand. We know that this is a DNA strand because it has T's in it. If it were an RNA strand, it would have U's in it instead. And so you have to double check your question here. Sometimes it will ask you to copy the DNA. And if it were to ask you to copy the DNA, you would just use your DNA pairing rules. And so it would have T's. But if it's asking you to transcribe your DNA into mRNA, you have to use your RNA pairing rules. So let's do that together. T goes with A, but remember there is no T in RNA. And so anywhere you would have put a T, you're going to put a U instead. G with C, G with C, A with U, G with C. There is A in RNA. Don't mix that up. And then U, 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 G, C, A. And then at this point, I highly recommend that you go back and you double check your work. Double check that you didn't make some silly little mistake somewhere, because any error made here is going to carry through the rest of the problem. The next step in protein synthesis is to translate that mRNA strand into a sequence of amino acids or a protein. And to do this, you need to use your codon chart. This is a codon chart. Remember, we read this from the inside out. And each of these letters on the mRNA is read in sets of 3. These sets of 3 are called codons. And so that is why this is called a codon chart. And so let's translate our mRNA into our protein. So this is our first codon. It starts with the letter A. So I'm going to look down here and start in the A slice of my codon chart. The next letter is U. And so I'm going to find the U slice in that quarter of the codon chart. The final letter is G. And so this will be my amino acid. You can abbreviate your amino acid into 3 letters. Let's do the next one. The next codon starts with C. And so I'm going to look in this slice of the codon chart. The second letter is also C. And then the final letter is U. So I know this has to be my amino acid. Let's do another one. The first letter is G. And then A. This codon is U. And then our final codon is going to be G, C, A. And there we have our strand of amino acids, or our protein, that we have transcribed into mRNA, and then that we have translated into our final product, which is our protein.